What's good, y'all? Your boy Dread is back. Welcome to Hip Hop Friday. And today's Hip Hop Friday topic is whack rappers. And no, I'm not going to be talking about one rapper in general. I'm just going to be talking about just whack rappers as a whole. Now, people can say hip hop is dead all they want. Hip hop's been around 35 years. It ain't going nowhere, because it ain't just a genre of music. It's an art form. So, of course, you're going to have there's different styles. And a lot of it, I'll admit, is a matter of taste. What I might think is hot, you might think is whack. What I might think is whack, you might think is hot, and so on and so forth. So maybe a lot of it has to do with it being a matter of taste. And like I said, hip hop's been around for 35 years and ain't going nowhere. So you're gonna have your good rappers, your great MCs, your in-betweens, your gray area rappers, and of course you're gonna have naturally your whack ones. But the difference is between like the 90s and the 80s and 90s today is like all the whack rappers were outnumbered by the good rappers. And if you were whack back in the 90s and the 80s, the 90s, heck, even the early 2000s, your career didn't last long and you would get called out for it. And now it seems like nowadays, like in the 2010s, and on, it seems like for every one good rapper, there's 3 whack rappers. But then again, like I said, that's just my opinion of how I feel about it. And like my definition of a whack rapper is like no talent, no real lyrical skill to speak of. They use gimmicks and promotion to get by, and their hot beat and stuff like that. I guess that's got to do with promotion. That's just how I feel about it. And if it ain't one thing that annoys me about the whack rappers and not having any talent, is their annoying ass followers and their fans. See, there's a difference between, being a fan and being a sheep. And I done said this in a couple other videos before, like, because I've got criticized on my videos about calling out other rappers for being whack. And they say, well, what gives you the right to judge whether a rapper is whack or whether it's not? You ain't the god of hip hop. Well, you're right. I ain't no god. I can't predict the future of who's gonna be good and who's not. But I can tell you that I do know talent when I see it, and I do know skill when I see it, and I do know taste. So I say that I have more say than anybody of who's whack and who's not, because I'm a dedicated fan of hip hop. But that's just how I feel about it. And of course they're gonna say, well, you just hating on, you just mad because your favorite rapper ain't in the mainstream like my favorite rapper is. You just mad because your favorite rapper ain't hot no more. And of course they bring up money and record sales and all that stuff. But I feel like if you gotta bring money and record sales into your favorite rapper discussion, then you already lost the damn argument, because that's really the only argument that you can make, is that they're just hot in the mainstream right now and then just making money and they're getting radio play a lot. And I post this status on Facebook that just because something's getting a lot of attention and just because something's hot and popular right now, it doesn't make it hot, it doesn't make it good. But then again, I guess it don't really make it whack either. I guess you could say like one thing is that it makes it overrated. And of course I get on artists all the time like Gucci Mane, Waka Flocka, OJ the Juice Man. I mean, come on, those are just your standard whack rappers, and you already know what I hate about them. And whack rappers, another thing I gotta point out, your coast or where you from does not determine your skills stuff like that, because there's whack rappers on every single coast. North, South, East, Midwest, West Coast, and hell, even international rappers, that are whack. Like I said, there's still a lot of good rappers and good MCs. You just have to look and you gotta find your own taste. I mean, man, I want to talk about I will name one rapper in particular, Lil B. Lil B to me is complete garbage. He is trash. One of the worst rappers of all time. And see, what makes me sad is like Lil B actually have potential. I mean, there is a couple of good songs, a couple of songs of Lil B that I do like, but it's like, come on, it's like his gimmick is completely ridiculous. I mean, and I understand to make it in rap today that you have to set yourself apart. You got to be original. But come on, there is a line, there is a limit to what you can do as far as originality. I mean, come on, Lil B. You can't expect me or any other real hip-hop fan to take you seriously if you're titling your album I'm Gay, calling yourself a fag and a lesbian, and titling your songs I'm a pretty bitch and I'm gonna eat her ass. I mean, come on, really. What real hip-hop fan will take you seriously? I mean, and the thing is, like I said, whack rappers, they don't really have any staying power. Like I said, I said in my video about Waka Flocka being garbage. Rappers like him, come a dime a dozen. They are hot for 2 years, then they fall off the map, and then they're replaced by another whack rapper just like them. But hey, like I said, I guess maybe it is all about taste, and to each their own. But anyway, before I go, I want to know y'all's opinion. Who are the top 5 wackest rappers that you ever heard in your life? And I made a joke about Lil B. I heard a joke about Lil B being so whack that he makes Gucci Mane look like Nas. But anyway, currently the top 5 wackest rappers in my opinion are Gucci Mane, Waka Flocka, Soulja Boy, OJ the Juice Mane, and Lil B. But what about y'all? Oh yeah, one of the wackest rappers of all time is Vanilla Ice. That nigga was trash. But anyway, what y'all think? I'm out, y'all. Peace.